Duelists, it is I, Hellgear, and this is my Drytron deck profile post ban list. Finally got those Drytron Novas to play this deck, and I've been doing so for 1.5 months. So, pardon the brother's skill issues. That and I'm still fresh from a funeral, as I mentioned in my progress report. Like, sub, and bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments section. And to all of you out there who are on that rust mode for this deck and you're not aware of the new info support, I got you. And we start things off with the big baddie, new Big Daddy Drytron, 5 racks both ways. December Alpha Draconids, the strongest rip monster in the game so far. Twice per turn at quick effect speed when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish at least one, if not more, Drytron monsters from your graveyard whose attack is higher than the attack of the monster activating its effects to negate and destroy it. Whew, that's a mouthful. Let me sip my water real fast. It protects your other Drytron Destroyers of the Stars from card effects, and should it be felled by your opponent's card, you can Rit Summon a 4,000 attack Rit monster. So it actually goes into Medionis Draconids for your second and third games. Now that I've told you guys about that sweet, sweet butter sauce for your taters, let's talk about them taters. The triple alpha. To the rusty in the back of the room, all of your Star Destroyers except for one. And let me zoom out the camera here. All of your small Star Destroyers except for one share the ability where you can give up a Rit or a Drytron monster from your hand or control to special summon these to the defense from hand or graveyard and activate their once per turn effects. Alpha Thubin is the Rota for Rit monsters. Rockin' a Beta for those rare instances when the Big Daddy does banish your smaller Star Destroyer ships. Beta can get you one from the banishment back to the grave. Triple Gamma Ripple. A lot of people are cutting this to 2. If you want to, you can cut it for another copy of the next card. This lets us extend with a friend from the grave. And then, of course, the flak alert. I run to Zeta. Zeta is Alpha's opposite, making it so that you wrote a Rit spell. Now, I'm sure the Drykage is probably listening to this in the back of the room while he's nose down and in books getting in master's papers. Cheer for the man. Give him his props and his roots. We need more people with master's degrees making the world a better place. Because my dueling community busts my hump to this very day about having 2 Zetas instead of 3 when I keep telling them 2 is really all you need. But here are the when, wheres, and whys. Most Drytron decks from the past and now run no more than 2 Rit spells, one in and out of archetype. And usually they run through both Rit spells on the first turn. And in my test hands, 3rd Zeta was bricky. But again, if you want to switch out Gamma 3 for Zeta 3, that's on you, man. I'll roll a pair of Deltas. Show off a Rit card for some fresh draws. And everybody needs fresh draws. For everybody in the Drytron village, we will officially call the big level 7 boy Beartron. Ursa means bear after all. It's an extender when you have a Drytron card, and it rotas Drytron spells or traps, the OPT. I know some people in the lab that are running 2 of this so they can go into rank 7 plays like number 11 Big Eye. Whew. Y'all some brave boys, man. The newest little ship on the block, quite literally, is Drytron New 2. It also extends from the hand-on control a Drytron card, but by either player controlling a Drytron card. So it's an extender for the mirror match, but it's banished when it leaves the field. New 2 acts as this archetype's Rhoda. The kickback, however, is it locks your Ritz into machine monsters. And that can be a problem for the other Rit monsters in the deck. Continuing on with the dry engine that's not dry at all. 3 Novas, this is standard. I run 1 field spell. All the big guys in the room and the big guys from the past run 1 field spell. And I'm getting by with 1. And lastly, the Rit spell that you can recycle once, so you can use it twice in 1 turn. And that takes care of our star destroying engine. Now for the rest of the stuff. I actually had to buy me a Choju of Trillion Hands. I really did actually have to buy a Choju of Trillion Hands because I didn't have one. On summon, whether normal or special, to the guys in the lab playing Valhalla Hall of the Fallen. It gets you a Rit monster and a Rit spell. Speaking of Rit spells, Dawn of the Herald being the other Rit spell in the room. For the perfect Herald, I'm very upset. I actually had to buy this gold rare Perfect Herald because my first edition Shining Darkness ultra rare one, I can't find that anywhere. Watch me find it now that I bought this one. Speaking of Heralds, let's do some more. Triple Orange Sherbert Ripple for the monster negates. And then we got the Diviner. We all know how this is. We'll get into the extra deck game a little bit later. And then there's Ava coming back to the Drytron deck to negate with the Perfect Herald again. I don't really understand this girl. I don't understand her at all, but recycling fairies for your recycling fairies is apparently a good thing. And then, of course, the triple Ben 10 Ripple. I've seen people topping and bubbling with 2 Ben 10s, but my butt cheeks feel unsafe with 2 Ben 10s. That's why I run 3. And that takes care of the fairy engine that I run in this deck. To the rest of the deck, I played 1 Secret Village of the Spellcasters because, yeah, I'm doing that lock. Triple Cyber Emergency. Yep. We all know what Foolish Burial and Called by the Grave do. I don't have to explain these cards. 2 Talents, so we can punish our opponent for hitting us with hand traps. And then 2 of the Dark Ruler No More, so we can tell Phantom of Ubel no more your madness. Wrapping up the 40 card main deck. To the Ed. Double Mu Beta Fafnir, that's just pretty standard. Everybody I've told me says this is standard. And I'm going to agree with the dogs of the past who have the Drytron clout. Remember, I'm a rookie pilot here, folks. 1 Assembled Nightingale. Now, in testing, I ran both Assembled Nightingale and Kiki Nagashi Fuko. But, Assembled Nightingale is much better with helping you survive Mahjong.deck crackback and 37,000 damage. So I'm playing with this. Sip my water there. But I found another rank 1 that I do like to play over the Kiki, and that is a copy of Slacker Magician. So, to those of you who don't know, Slacker Magician is Sir Mix-a-Lot's favorite level, her rank 1 magician for that 2100 in the back, because baby got back. You gotta punch her twice to kill her in battle, and if she's targeted by a card effect, you can detach a material to negate and destroy. Plus, it's another spellcaster for the Secret Village lock. Next up, Constaller Ptolemy M7. I'm gonna be real with you. The reason I play this is because I needed a rank 6 to replace Beatrice. And I was like, you know what? Don't the Constellars have a rank 6? I'm like, yeah, they have M7. So what's the reasoning behind this? Well, the effect that matters is once per turn you detach a material to bounce one card on field or either player's grave to the hand. At first I was like, okay, cool. I can bounce back a Ben 10 so I can use it all over again. And then I remembered that you can bait out the Phantom Ubel negates and then bounce Phantom Ubel to the extra deck. So you have another extra deck out when you bump up your Diviner of the Herald to 6 to overlay with a Ben 10. Speaking of the Diviner, the Diviner boosts ups. We know these guys. We know how they roll. We know that very well. One Formula Athlete, Don Dragster. Oh, geez, I got these all over the place. I got these all stacked up wrong. Ugh. Give a brother some time. He's still grieving. He's fresh out of a funeral, ladies and gentlemen. F.A. Don Dragster is a spell negate. Helps protect the Big Daddy from spell action. So between Slacker Magician and Relinquished Anima, and of course Line of the Light Charmer, you have a couple of mages to help get you through and do Secret Village lock. 2 Dynamondo because I do run them Diner of Mondirs. 1 IP, 1 Nightmare Unicorn because people are still having problems pulling SP out of 10s. And a Boral Sword to close the games. Yeah, spoiler alert, I don't have a Zeus. And again, folks ain't getting them those lucks of the draws off of a Typhon. Now look, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Test hands have been some crazy mess. One time I had the crappiest of crap test hand. Well, what were the cards in your test hand, Hellgear? I want to define this crap that you had. It doesn't matter. It was the most garbage of garbage hands you could ever get for this deck. But what do I end on with this garbage hands? I get 2 materials on a Mu Beta Fafnir. And I get our good friend Perfect Herald. So this is my end board, and I have these 4 cards in my hand as the end board. This is my first test hand testing off of the ban list. I look at myself and I'm like, it couldn't have been this easy. It really couldn't have been this easy back during quarantine when this deck was running people. Now, listen to this mess. Before I recorded this, this is the test hand that I had. I had 1 alpha. Let me just give you all the test hands and to show you the skill issue I have. Okay? 1 Alpha, 1 Cyber Emergency, 1 Ben 10. Where are you? 1 Drytron Nova. Where's my Nova? 1 Drytron Nova, and of course, a Zeta. Alright, this is the test hand that I had, and I stopped before recording this video. This is my test hand. Everybody in the village who are vets to this deck told me when you have Alpha and Zeta in your hand, you got full combo. And I've already rocking 1 Ben 10 in the hand. So this is like the wombo of combo. Again, I've only been playing this deck for 1.5 months. Alright? Let me show you how I ended my board. This is just to prove the skill issues that I have. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the graveyard, including all 3 of the Ben 10s. Got the Moo Beta in here. Fairies all stacked up. Right? Fairies all stacked up. In the graveyard is all that madness. But on my field, this is what I have. Alright? I got Dynamondo in the extra monster zone. I have 2 materials. We're just going to take these out here. I have 2 materials on Slacker Magician. Right? Field spell is activated for Secret Village. And I have the Perfect Herald on deck. This is my end board, okay? Show you the skill issue that I had because, again, I messed this up. My skill issue, ladies and gentlemen, for 1.5 month pilot, I had all this on the field for the end board. And I had 3 fairies, one of which was Ava because, you know, it wasn't the freshest draw with our man Zeta. This was my end board. Okay? I have Perfect Herald with 3 negates, Secret Village Lock, and a Dynamondo Disruption to put a Ben 10 on the board for the next turn. Now, if I did this properly and worked the Moo Beta Fafnir the right way, instead of having Dynamondo on this end board, I would have had the Big Daddy. So I would have had 3 negates from Perfect Herald, Secret Village Lock, and then 2 more negates off of the Big Daddy for a 5 negate board under Secret Village Lock. And that was the test hand from Alpha, Zeta, Ben 10, Nova, and Cyber Emergency. Thank you guys so much for watching this deck profile. I do want to test that release brainwashing quick play spell in Rage of the Abyss because it works good with tributing with decks that tribute monsters. But for now, I'm going to take my cards to the box because I'm done. Bye bye everybody.